Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Hi there, Loy Machedo. Speaking to you from LoyMachedo.com. Who is Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding? So this might officially be the last long video that I have for you for this year end, after which I think 2020 is on the horizons. All right, as usual, in the description, all the details they will be put. News links, for those of you who keep saying this is fake news, I'll be sharing the news links down below. And if there's anything important, the announcements and links will be put down below. Just before I do start, one very important little update that I want to give you is because of YouTube and Google's changing algorithm, even Facebook and all of them. So now it's, I have given permission to YouTube to put ads on my videos. So through these ads, I can earn a little bit of money. So you'll be seeing ads come on my video. My request to you is when these ads are playing, to support the channel, please do watch the ads, okay? Whether you want to switch off the sound or whatever, that's up to you. But do watch these ads because that will be a small little way that you can help me in my channel. So it's not, I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything else. Just watch the ads on the video and support my channel a little bit. So that's how I can make a little bit of money through this channel. So, and please do put your comments. I always read them. Any suggestions, good, bad, ugly, let me know. And having said that, let's move into our session. Okay, I have in this video, I have trends that are taking place with regards to Expo 2020, the updates. We have a little bit of news updates in the job markets, and we also have remedial measures that the UAE is taking towards the next year. Okay, so first and foremost, let me give you with a couple of just housekeeping updates which are there. The first one is, I told you about the ads. Please do watch them, give a little bit of love and support to the channel. That will help you. The second one is, this is a trend that I thought you should know about. Lots of people have started to plan for next year with regards to jobs, resumes, interview skills, coaching skills. I was actually surprised. Personally speaking, I thought business would go down at the end of the year, but business has actually picked up. More and more people are preparing to search for jobs. In fact, I was very surprised and very shocked that I actually got directors and CEOs, people at that level, approach me. Now, there are not very many, but the few that are there are comparatively higher than what they were last year, because I have an Excel sheet where I check, okay, this year and last year, what was the difference? So this year, many senior level people have approached me for my services, maybe because my channel is growing or the brand awareness is there. And another thing is, they're not looking for jobs immediately. They're looking to prepare themselves to hunt for jobs for the next 6 months. So the goal is 6 months ahead. So what I would suggest to you is, I think it's a right time for you to start planning 6 months ahead or for next year. So when you're searching for a job, this is a tip that I give people is, it's like booking a holiday. When you book a holiday, you always plan in advance. Okay, you plan in advance, you plan the dates, you plan the budget, you plan everything else. So in the same way, plan for the next year, say 6 months to a year. Where do you want to move? Which company do you want to join? Or what salary are you looking at? What position are you looking at? And go backwards, okay? So let's say, for example, you want to do it by June of next year. Then let's say by June, you have to be ready, let's say by maybe May. And you would have finished your interviews by February, March, April, you know, those 3 months. And then obviously you'll want to start completing your resume by January. So go backwards, have a forward goal and go backwards. And that would really help. Personally, I've been surprised why the CEO and directors have been moving. You know, I spoke to a couple of them. I think they know for a fact that the market is going to correct itself. Many people are going to be replaced with new jobs. You know, when you see these news headlines that 10,000 new jobs were created, 7,000 new jobs were created. There is an element of truth in it. They don't tell you the whole news, but they tell you partially. Yes, new jobs were created, but it is only because the existing jobs, the people who are there in those jobs, they were terminated. Okay, so they are trying to get new people. So just keep this in mind, which I want you to be very aware of. The second thing is there is more a focus towards what you do on social media, especially in the Middle East now. They are scanning your profile, they're scanning your name, they're scanning your friends, they're scanning what you do on LinkedIn. I was surprised that many people are actually now, removing their Facebook accounts, or they're keeping it absolutely hidden, or they're not posting anything anymore. The reason being is people don't want others to spy on them or know what they're doing. In fact, I would highly recommend that you go through some of the videos that are available online on privacy settings on Facebook, privacy settings on your smartphone, because now Facebook, Google, YouTube are being watched by the government. Okay, they are being like, are you keeping a track of people, what they're doing, what they're spending, where they're going? So just be wary of this. Check a couple of online videos, how to disable tracking on your phone, how to ensure that your profile is kept hidden and private. Okay. This is also another important update which I thought I'd share with you. I have been putting job vacancies. These are people who sponsor my channel, some of them, and some of them say, Loy, I'm genuinely looking for these people to apply for these positions. Okay. There's been a good response, and the quality of CVs are improving. Okay. So it's not just, I don't know where these people are going, but I've seen a slight improvement in the quality. However, there is still some of them who have questionable, actions or decisions that are taking. Like, for example, I saw a CV with flowers. Okay, for a managerial position, he had CV with flowers. One other guy, as usual, had color. One had polka dots on his CV. The other one tried to make it a very creative CV. I even got a video resume. He put an unlisted video of him talking. Now, in as much as innovation is good, creativity is good, don't try to reinvent the wheel. That is what I tell you. I mean, when you're looking at a resume, yes, the reason for the colors or the design is to grab a person's attention. Okay, so you stand out from the rest of the crowd, but don't overdo it. Having flowers on your CV, I don't know, what does it do? So please just use your mind a little bit. And another thing which I want to tell you is there's been this debate whether 1 page, 2 page, 6 pages. I would just say that make sure that the content in your CV is relevant to what you're saying. Don't repeat information. Don't recycle information. Don't copy paste information. And don't try to impress anyone, because you cannot. I had junior people, or even at least a managerial level, 8 pages CVs, 6 pages CVs. Guys, what are you doing? You don't need 8 pages. You don't need 6 pages. 2 pages is enough. And if you're junior, 1 page is more than enough. I've even made senior level managers, up to 2 pages max. So please keep that in mind. And just for those of you who want to know industry specific, there will be a boost in UAE, especially in tourism, events, service, hotels. There will be a boost in terms of sales. The property market will try to correct itself. So there also they'll try to be inviting people. However, certain other industries, they will be cutting down on costs, especially banking and finance. They have to still scale down the operations much more. And if you are a person who has been occupying a high paid position over the years, there can be chances that you most probably will lose your job. And departments have been closing down. I've been getting information from companies that nobody thought would change its strategies. They have already started to make corrections for 2020, because 2020, they just want to make sure that the overheads are not high. So just be careful on this. And as I get more information, I'll be sharing it with you. Okay. Let's move on to a few emails that I received from people. This one I got from a gentleman. Obviously, I'll keep his identity hidden. What he said is, "Dear Loy, I would like to share my feedback regarding our first session on the discussion of my resume. You have completely eliminated my delusions at first place." Now, this guy was very, very confident that he was going to get a very high-level job. I was of the view that I'd made my strong CV, and to my surprise, the comments I received from you, which I totally agree, made me think what a worthless document I've been floating in the market. I'm impressed by your explanation and look forward to have a well-crafted resume. Um, this is just for information. Whenever I do create and craft a resume, I don't copy paste and give it to the person. I explain each and every statement that each and every word that I insert in your resume, and I give you the logic behind it, so that if tomorrow, let's say, I make a resume and I'm no more, or I die, or anything happens, you don't need to ever go to anyone else. You can change your resume by yourself, given the guidance that I give you. So then he says, I was pretty confused to decide on taking your services or not. However, after the short session, I think I finally made the right choice. Thank you. Okay. And this is also for you to know, whenever I have a session with somebody, I sometimes break down the session because there's a lot of information that people have not put in their resume that I focus on. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is, this one is from a very senior guy, very, very senior guy. I can't give you much more information, but I'll tell you. This is what he says. Dear Loy, I have to admit that even though I knew my CV needed a small bit of work to bring it up to scratch when you started working on it through Google Docs, I could see the transformation happening and I was blown away. Your insight and knowledge in the field, I feel, is second to none, and your attention to small details and tweaks that you've done are simply better than I could have hoped for. The small fee of $575 is definitely worth every cent, and I recommended you to 4 of my friends and colleagues already, as this is the investment in your career and definitely worth more than $45 LOL. Okay. Do you remember I told you that a very senior guy, very, very senior guy at a director or CEO level, wanted me to evaluate his resume for $54, which I gave for only people who could not afford? Well, this was a gentleman. I told him that evaluation of your resume would at least cost $575. I told you there are different levels. If you are at a senior level, junior level, So his was $575. And, I told him, I'm sorry, if you don't pay that money, I can't do it for $54. So he finally agreed. And we actually had, I think, close to 6 or 7 sessions. It was that intricate, his resume. And the shocking part is, after making his resume, immediately he has already been given, I think, 2 or 3 job offers. So I was really touched by his kindness to give me this letter. And, it's a success story. I'm pretty happy. Very senior position, a guy who's towards the retirement phase of his life. And now he's being offered a very powerful position. So very happy with this. He and I will continue being friends. So that's what I do know. Anyway, this next one is also a very senior guy. I'll just give you the bits because he has put very important details over there. He said, Loy, my friend did these yesterday. That was his profile photograph and his online presence. And I hope you can add whichever you feel suits the profile best. And that is done. And I can't thank you enough for your professional service. So this guy is at a very high level. For him, I decided that he needs to have a website and he also needs to have professional photographs put on various social media, including his resume. And we also had the strategy for name tags and meta tags for his profile. So he's at a CEO level. So this also worked very well. And, they give very short to the point recommendations. They don't make it very big. Okay. And I thought I'd just share this with you. This will be the last one in terms of the recommendations. This one is actually by an Emirati. Okay. He's an Emirati based in UAE. And this is what he says. Most expats, I do not know their day-to-day life, but as a citizen, trust me, what Loy says has 85% truth. So it feels nice to receive a positive comment from an Emirati. Like I told you, I don't hate UAE. I don't hate the Emiratis. I just like to bring out a perspective of what happens. Okay. So it was really nice to receive a message, that too publicly, from an Emirati. So thank you so very much. I'm touched, and I wrote to him and I thanked him also. Okay. So now let's move on to international news, and these were the updates which I thought were important. All right, international news with the good, bad, the ugly, and the funny bits. So these are the ones that really got my attention. Okay, the first one was I don't know how to even react to this, but a banana was plastered on a wall, and that was considered modern art, and that was sold for $120,000. Okay. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I understand that art is perception. I understand that you have to be modern. I miss those days where art was really like art, where it took you years to perfect it, whether it was a painting or a sculpture. Today, anybody can just plaster a banana, or, put your glasses on the floor, or even, I don't know, put naked. In fact, I even know of, I read somewhere, where this artist put paint in her vagina, and she was just walking around and the paint was dripping, and that was considered art. So this is another one of those where people consider this modern art, and he spent $120,000. So I would just say the person who was getting the money, the guy who put the banana up the wall, he's a smart guy. The person who purchased the banana, taped on the wall, oh, they were here. So I don't know what to say. Anyway, this particular news was why it became news is because after the banana was plastered on the wall, one guy actually pulled the banana and he ate it, and they showed the video on Twitter. And then the artist was not very angry with the guy who ate the banana. He just plastered another banana. So it was not a unique banana. It was just any banana on the wall with the tape is $120,000. So I don't know whether only you find this stupid or whether it's me, but I seriously find this stupid. Okay. Anyway, the next one is, this one is kind of sad, and people of my era, my age of the 80s, they will, relate to this. Roxette, the singer of Roxette, her name is Mary Fredriksson. Okay, she died. Really shocked. She was only 61, Swedish star. And, it's the song, It Must Have Been Love. I have no idea how many times I must have listened to that song. Really sad. It really makes you realize, sheesh, we're getting old. It's the passing of the torch. All the people that I grew up listening to, one by one, they're dying. So really sad. She is survived by her husband, Mikael Bolyos, and two children, 26 and 23. So really sad. The next one is, I was kind of baffled with this one. Ever since Imran Khan came into power, there's been a clampdown on money laundering. There's been clampdown on, foreign investments or not declared wealth. So this guy, Pakistani Tycoon, his name is Malik Riaz Hussain, Pakistani real estate tycoon, has agreed to hand over 190 million pounds, which is $248 million, held in the UK to settle a corruption investigation. He's one of the most richest and most powerful businessmen and one of the largest private employers. So I find this baffling. Is like, wow, you're actually giving that amount of money. I just feel that he didn't want any complications. He didn't want any drama. Just take the money, leave me alone. This is what is left. I'll be happy with it. So it really shows, like, a lot of people, they just don't want complications in their life. We also have had former Pakistani President Musharraf sentenced to death, which I really found shocking. I mean, this guy was, he was the leader of the country. He led the country. He was praised for his leadership at that time. Then obviously, of course, he sacked a judge of the High Court, and then Benazir Bhutto's death. So they say that he was involved in both of them. And now, he's sentenced to death, and he's currently based in UAE. So I don't know. There are two sides. On one side, you have Pakistanis who say, no, that is not right. On the other side, you have Pakistanis saying, yes, he deserves it. It's just polar opposites. I mean, the same thing that is happening even in India. This new cab bill, NCR or NRC or whatever. I've never seen a country being divided so badly. I mean, even in my WhatsApp groups, I have a couple of them. People who are normally nice, who are friendly with each other. Now there are two sides. It's like one side is saying, yeah, this rule is important for the country. The other side said, no, it's discriminating other people. I even had my friend Mazhar Faruqi, who is the Gulf News editor, managing editor of Express, which is now closed. He's a very senior, accomplished editor. He even spoke out and put it on his Facebook that if you support this bill, you're not my friend. I would rather have you out of my friends list. Personally speaking, I just see that only the politicians are the winners in this. It's not the people of the country. Like, to divert the focus, it's like a magician, when a magician does magic, if he has to change something from here, he'll just move his hand here. So you look at this hand here, but he's doing something with the other hand. It's like the art of misdirection. Instead of Modi having people question the economy or what is he doing in terms of helping people focus on jobs, the misdirection. Oh, let's focus on terrorists. Let's focus on the other things. Because, I want you to see both sides of the argument. Have a look at the people who are like day-to-day people in Jammu and Kashmir. Day-to-day. Forget Muslims, forget Hindus, forget anyone else. Okay? The normal day-to-day people, their livelihood is affected. Children are not able to go to school. They're not able to study. People are not able to earn their livelihood. Businesses are being affected. Like even in Hong Kong, day-to-day businesses are being affected. Yes, this protests and all this is like, wow, yes, we're fine. But then when you don't have a job, when you don't have money in the bank, what are you going to do, man? If you do not have any money in the bank, if you do not have money to pay the bills, to take care, to feed your family, your children, are you going to participate in all these protests? Are you going to take part in all, vandalizing property, burning buses? No, you'll not do that. You'll be like, I need to earn to feed my family. I need to earn and take care of my loved ones. I need to, study. I need to work. It is the normal day-to-day people who are suffering. Personally speaking, I'm looking at it from a very neutral sense. I'm not supporting Modi. I'm not against him. I'm just looking from a very neutral perspective, and I'm seeing people's lives being destroyed. There's no longer unity. I mean, even in my groups, there's literally two sides. There's like people who are like giving nice, positive messages. Now they literally hate each other. It's so crazy. It's so sad. And, it's like the British strategy of divide and rule. This is exactly what is happening. And it's very sad. I'll tell you, end of the day, the only winner is going to be the politicians. The only winner. They are going to get the agenda done. And it's people who don't use their minds, their brains. They're going to be the ones to suffer. I just hope that there is more a focus towards unity. There's more focus towards friendship. There's more focus towards, at least, if nothing else, just focus on your career. Focus on your future. Focus on your bank balance. Focus on your family. Focus on good things, man. All this drama, this is not required. It doesn't help anyone. So anyway, this is my message to you. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think you should take part in politics and do all this bullshit? And okay, we don't want this religion. We don't want people from this country. How does it help you, man? How does it help you? I don't know. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. I always read your comments. And speaking of jobs, Morgan Stanley is terminating 1,500 jobs. They're going to axe these jobs to cut down 2% of its workforce because of market volatility, because of trade wars, because of economic slowdown. And I told you, 2020 is going to see a lot of market corrections. You have, following this, you have Saudi GCC news. The big hoo-ha-ha that happened with the Saudi MBS going and marketing Aramco as a $2 trillion company, and he wanting to bring in foreign investments. Well, not only his master plan proved to be a big flop, he was expecting, I think, 100 billion when they floated the shares. They only managed to get 25.6 billion. But the part that came in the news is, see, just to give you an idea, when Chinese internet giant Alibaba managed to raise 25 billion, okay, they paid 300 million as commission, as charges to its underwriters, okay, commission or whatever. So Saudi Aramco 25 million, Alibaba 25 million. Alibaba paid 300 million, Saudi Aramco paid only 64 million. So you can imagine Saudi paying so much more less than what the international counterpart paid. So this just goes to show you that people have realized in the Middle East, they hype, they make larger than life stories, larger than life claims. There is no transparency, and this is why this is why people are now very cautious when they're investing in the Middle East. You also have a lot of tensions that are growing between in UAE, because once upon a time UAE was positioned as the business hub of the world. Now Doha has started to ramp up its efforts to start marketing its economy as the alternate to Dubai. So where Dubai is offering, let's say, a 10-year visa, Doha is offering a lifetime visa. Where Dubai is saying, don't pay taxes for 5 years or whatever, Qatar is saying, you don't have to pay lifetime. So whatever Dubai is offering, Qatar is saying, we'll offer you a much better deal. And they've already started to put ads all over international media outlets. If you do find any ad, do share it with me. I would like to see one of them. The next one. All right, this report about, you could say about UAE, I found it slightly surprising because normally Arabian business likes to project and portray only positive stuff about UAE. So I found this a little bit, strange. You have this guy whose name is Mohammed Jassim Khalid Al Marzouk. Okay. He is the guy behind the huge projects in Kuwait, such as 360 Mall, Al Qud, then Kuwait's largest waterfront retail and leisure destination, then Al Kiran, the region's first hybrid mall, and 3-tower residential complex in Tamdeen Square. Okay, so he has a couple of real worthwhile projects from Kuwait under his belt. And when he was asked about investing in UAE, he said that Dubai is overbuilt, Saudi has just opened, Bahrain is very small, and he was not very positive about investing in the Middle East. So I was a little surprised. I was like, wow, okay, this is a big statement. So, people are getting more and more bold about speaking the truth about, the fact that if you invest it in the West, at least you have, some kind of stability. And this is a trend that I've noticed, is they invite investments from abroad, come and invest in our country, but once they get the money in the country, they invest it in projects abroad. I think it's more like, black money, white money kind of a game. So you have money that you don't want it to be taxed, or you don't want questions being asked, where did you get the money from? Invest it here. And once you make it like legal and it's like into stuff that you can say is really worthwhile, well, we'll take the money and we'll invest it somewhere. So, well, this is what I've been noticing very lately. Speaking about UAE, I found this news also very surprising. Hazza Mansoori, the Emirati UAE hero who went to space, I call him a space tourist. UAE calls him the astronaut. Call him a space tourist because he was just a guest on a spaceship that was launched from Europe, from Russia or wherever. Okay, so I don't have anything bad against the guy. I think the guy has done something which majority of the people can never do in their life, and he is the first Emirati. So bravo to him. So what is the big surprising news? The surprising news is the fact that he received the highest civilian honor from NASA as the Distinguished Public Service Medal. However, this was not made into a very big news. They didn't talk about it in the papers. They didn't mention it on media. And even though he shared this on his Twitter, official Twitter handle, only when I checked it, there were only 49 people talking about it. It was a very, hush-hush, low-key affair. I mean, shouldn't this be, a really big thing? Shouldn't more people be talking about it? I don't know why all of a sudden it's become like very quiet. In fact, Sheikh Mohammed even, gave the announcement that he wants the next guy to be groomed for space. Even that didn't pick up any traction. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not trending online or it's no longer a very popular topic. But the next news is a very popular topic, and that is Princess Haya was at court, battling the custody of her children. And Sheikh Mohammed, obviously, he was not there. So Princess Haya, who's the sixth wife of Sheikh Mohammed, who fled her husband because of differences or whatever. Now she's living in London. She wants protection of her children because, according to her, her claim is that she's afraid that her children will be forced to marry somebody else, or some other media outlets are saying that she's afraid of her life, or things are not working out. So whatever the case, end of the day, I just say that if things are not working out, let both the parties go their own separate ways. And think about it. Sheikh Mohammed is 70 years old, 70. 70 is grandfather. That's at least how we look at it. So I'm sure Sheikh Mohammed is no longer the aggressive, hot-blooded, guy that he was when he was young. I'm pretty sure even he would want amicable end to this. Okay. Let's move on to one last bit that is in the international news, which has been gaining a lot of traction, which, personally speaking, I find this next news is kind of stupid, and I'll tell you why. The title is UAE Leaders Plan Strategy for the Next 50 Years. Now, once upon a time, this was like a very bold thing to do. People used to admire, wow, he has a vision for the next 50 years. He has the vision for the next 100 years, 200 years. I find this personally stupid. Okay, I'll tell you why I find it stupid. Here's my logic to you. Do you know what's going to happen in the next 100 years exactly? Like confidently, perfectly well? Okay. Or let me be rather specific. Your life, how it is right now, your life, is it exactly the way you planned it when you were born? Like when we were born, we had, like I wanted to be an astronaut, I wanted to be a film actor, I wanted to be, I don't know, Schwarzenegger, whatever. I wanted to be so many things. I never thought my life would go the way I planned, this way, sorry. I never thought life would go the way it has gone right now. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would have tattoos. I never in my wildest dreams thought I would have my fourth marriage. I never thought I would stay in Thailand. I never thought YouTube and Google and Facebook would be there. Never, never, never. In fact, I'm pretty sure even you never thought your life would be the way it is right now. None of us know how life is going to be. I mean, think about it. Did you ever imagine that Donald Trump would one day be the president of the United States? I mean, people would joke about it, make fun about it, even Obama did, but we never thought life would go this way. I remember in the 80s, we thought there would be flying cars. Even today, nobody wants a flying car, okay? I remember in the 80s, we had houses which would be like robots. I used to see these futuristic magazines. People would be like Star Trek zapping from here to there. None of it has happened. So why am I saying this is, why am I bringing this up is, it's stupid to plan out so far ahead when you are not able to meet the challenges of the next 12 months. Dubai has $21 billion that it has to pay. $21 billion. It's not addressing that. It's not addressing the problems of what it has to do within the next year. They have not been able to pay for the last, I think, two times or three times that they have postponed the payments. They're not able to meet that in the last 5 years. What are you planning for 50 years? Who are you trying to impress? In fact, they even had this announcement of they have created the ambassador for the fourth industrial revolution. The fourth. I don't know what is the first. I don't know what is the second. Here's the fourth. It seems the most futuristic. What are you doing, man? You want a simple goal. I'll tell you a simple goal. Your simple vision should be, I'm going to pay off $21 billion. That should be your goal. Your goal should be, we need to stabilize the economy. The goal should be, we need to get rid of all the debt. We need to keep this economy stable and sustainable. That should be the vision. You have a vision. It's like me telling you, my vision is going to be, I'm going to be a billionaire at the age of 80 or 90, when I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, when I don't know what's my goal for next month, when I don't know what am I going to achieve year end. I'm not saying that UAE doesn't have a goal for the year end. Obviously they do. They're very amazing. There are people who are leaders. But this news of 50 years ahead is bullshit, okay? I'm telling you, it's outright bullshit. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Here's the best question for you. The changes that have taken place in UAE, the changes, the challenges, the problems, the issues. Did anyone predict this would happen? Nobody predicted, nobody thought that UAE's economy would crash, that so many projects would be just left, abandoned. Simple. Palm Island 1, 2, 3, Sheikh Maktoum Airport, Dubai Logistics City, Dubai, World Central. What happened to all of that? Total flop, total failure. So I would say stop this bullshit of 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. Look at the next month. That's what I would say is much more practical. Okay. The next one is UAE pushes for 2020. Expo 2020 pushes for growth. Right now, it seems there are 4,792 active projects in Dubai. That's a really big number, 4,792. And what do they mean by active projects? Means construction. I don't know from where they get this number. And I do not know if they're talking of massive projects or they're talking of, like, if you're talking of a small little canteen shop, is that a project? Or are you taking like a skyscraper, that as a project? When you have vague data like this, it sounds big, but then where it is, here, I'll give you a very simple example. You're in Dubai, if you're in Dubai or Singapore, go and find out where are these 4,792 projects. Are they all the building constructions that are taking place in Expo 2020 area? Is that the 4,792? Or is it like we're talking of 4,792 skyscrapers or cities? Or is it like a small shop and they're calling that one shop as Project One? So, I hear all these big numbers. I've stopped believing in the bullshit. As for this article, it says Al Maktoum International Airport, Al Maktoum International Airport has scaled down its operations. It's bleeding, it's hemorrhaging cash. It's not working out. Jebel Ali Port, what in Jebel Ali Port? Are you building a warehouse and you're calling that? Then Dubai Metro Red Line, fine, I agree, that is required for Expo 2020. I know you might be saying, Loy, stop being so negative and all that. But here's the thing. When you give such big numbers, It should help the people. It should give them jobs. It should bring in revenue. Just meet any day-to-day person who is in Dubai. Ask him, are you feeling the excitement of Expo 20? Are you excited? He'll be like, what excited? There's no excitement. Everything is normal. Only hype is on YouTube, on newspapers. But the guy who is in UAE, for him, it's a normal day. There's no excitement. There's nothing. It's just this hype that is there. You don't have to believe a word I'm saying. Just don't believe. Look at it with your own eyes. Okay? So this is another like wow kind of news. But for people who are there on ground reality, it is nothing. Okay? They are giving even big numbers saying that the GDP is 33 billion in 2008 and all that bullshit. Big numbers, but if you speak to people, the business community at large or the employees, or they'll say, man, I don't know what this report is. I don't see any excitement, nothing. Okay. You have this website, which is zerohedge.com, says the UAE private sector tanks to a 10-year low, the lowest in 10 years amid recession fears. And this was also cross-referenced and reported by Reuters. Okay. So those of you say, oh, you're only reading Al Jazeera, which is Qatari based, which is anti-UAE. Well, here you have from Reuters. You have also express.co.uk, which shares the news that before you had the underworld or the mafia from India, you had from Russia, you had from Britain, but now UAE is even becoming a home for European criminals. Okay, as per British intelligence, as per this report, it seems British intelligence have cited that many gangsters have taken UAE as home. You remember what I told you that they need foreign exchange to come in, they need money to come in. So a lot of people who have black money is not, I'm not talking of racist money, and black money means money that is not accounted for. So they bring it into the country. And UAE has this policy, or all Middle East countries have this policy. You bring in the cash in, we don't care from where you bought the money or how you bought the money. You're investing it here, do it legal, fine, we don't have a problem. So that's what is happening. So people are bringing black money, they're investing into properties, they're investing into real estate or whatever, or projects, or they open up supermarkets, hypermarkets, stores, and then they say this is a legal business, and then that kind of money, either they sell the business or whatever, and they say, see, proof I earn this money through legal channels, and that is what they reinvest in other countries. So a lot of this black money is coming in. As for the National Crime Agency, which arrested 24 people from Northern England, they said that they had suitcases of cash which were going to be taken into Dubai. The NCA, that is the National Crime Agency, said that people have managed to smuggle 15 million pounds. 15 million pounds, that's a shitload of money in suitcases. Just imagine, just think about this, okay? The question is, don't these suitcases go under the scan, or how are they managed to escape the scan? I mean, just think about it, okay? If they have nabbed these guys with money in the suitcase, so they're not dumb, they're not stupid. They would have planned this out that, okay, I'm going to take money in the suitcase. I know that the airport security will scan this, but still they did it. So that means there was already a pre-agreed kind of agreement between them. I'll bring the money with the suitcase. I'll go through this channel. In fact, unofficially, this is just from word of mouth, I know of this guy told me, okay, whoever it is, who works at the airport, he told me his friend has people who come down, fly down, and they are taken through a separate door, they are taken through a separate, back door or whatever, and they have contacts and connections at the highest levels, okay? So no questions being asked, they just come through the door, bring in whatever they have to do, shake hands, bye-bye, and they go out. So this is not just in the UAE, it's all across the world, it's everywhere. people have contacts and connections at the highest levels. So let's say, for example, I'm just giving you, like, think like a movie, okay? This guy wants to bring in 100 million in suitcase, okay, in a suitcase carrying the luggage, okay? He wants to bring it. So he's going to give, let's say, 1 million to the topmost guy. He just tells him, I'll just come in through the door, whatever, go, just make sure it's clean. You get 1 million. So if I'm the guy at the top, I know that this guy is very powerful. I know that this guy has very big connections. I don't want any issues for me and my family. I just want peace. So he's giving me 1 million just to close my eyes. He'll just go through the door and do his stuff. Okay, fine. I will be busy doing my own thing. I'll act as if I didn't notice. Make sure that that security camera is off or not working or whatever. He comes, he goes, he does his thing. Okay, and then he gets out. As for records, he never existed. He never came in. I never seen him. There's no evidence. And I have 1 million in an overseas bank account somewhere. And I'm happy. I'm happy. Everyone's happy. Nobody had any problems. He did what he had to. So why not? If I was in that position, I would do the same thing. I mean, everyone wants things to go without any drama, without any problems. So my friend who has his contacts and connections at the airport says, many of these things take place. It's not just UAE. It's happening across the world, everywhere. People know what happens. They just keep their eyes closed. It's business as usual. So this also happens. Some people call it money laundering. Some people call it illegal stuff. Some people call it whatever. But this happens. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. We just don't talk about it. Okay. So in this article, they have given a couple of names of big kingpins who are actually wanted in Europe or in UK or in Ireland. They are big time criminals. But in Dubai, they have identity cards as consultants, as professionals. So, well, I think, like they say, you can be a big bad wolf in your country and do bad things. But here, don't break the rules. We don't have any problems with you as long as you respect them. So, many underworld people, there is even rumors that you had, which was true. It's not a rumor. You can just Google search Osama bin Laden in Dubai hospital. Okay. Osama bin Laden was treated in Dubai, in American hospital in Dubai. Okay. Everyone knows this. You can just Google search. Don't have to believe a word I say. And personally, if you ask me, I would say Osama bin Laden, this is me. This is just my opinion. Okay. He's just used as a pawn. He's just used as a front man to say that this guy who was in the mountains with goats, a goat herd, he had technology that was even more superior to the United States. Just let that sink in your brains for a minute. A guy who's in the mountains of Kabul with these goats, with a rifle, AK-47, is smarter than all the technology, all the artificial intelligence, all the advancement of the entire country of the United States. This one man in the mountain in Kabul, in Afghanistan, is smarter than the entire AI, the technology of United States. And he alone, this guy with his goats in the mountain, was able to plan out and bring down 2 towers, the tallest towers in the world. He was able to bypass the technology and the surveillance of the most powerful nation in the world. Must be one hell of a, mountaineer. This Pathan. He must be. Wow. And people buy that story. They actually buy that story that this guy. My opinion, it's just bullshit. It's just, like I said, you show a magic trick here, say, look here, but this hand is doing something else. USA, everyone knows, but nobody talks about it. USA trained him. USA made him. Ronald Reagan, they made him. The CIA made him. It's like USA trains all these people in all these countries from this concept of global warming, which now They are saying that this, it is a man-made invention just to create chaos. So, well, people will say, "Law, you're talking bullshit." Other side will say, "No, there's an element of truth." Like I tell you, use common sense. That's all I tell you. Just use common sense. You'll know what is true, what is false. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. This one is UAE news. Expo 2020. United States may not participate in Expo 2020. Why? Because they're not able to get the funds. I would say that USA has the funds. They just don't see the viability of putting in their money. But I'm pretty sure UAE, to save its image, they will generate the funds, or they'll make it easier for USA to build the pavilion. USA will be there in the end, but they're not going to spend the money. They'll make UAE arrange the funds somehow. They're playing a good game, huh? USA, come on. USA doesn't have the money to build a pavilion. That's bullshit. USA has the money. It's just that it doesn't want to spend the money. They know for a fact that UAE will do whatever it takes. They'll put their own money to save face, because when you have a US presence, it's bragging rights. And when you have USA there, the security will be all-time high. So UAE will generate the funds to make sure USA's pavilion is there. But as of now, USA is saying, "Oh, sorry, we don't have the funds. I don't know if you'll ever get it." It's just a very smart game for USA to make sure that these guys spend the money. I'll tell you, you might not believe this, but there are so many Westerners who are the stingiest people on the planet. They'll not even spend $1. They'll want things to get free. We always have this, "Oh, Indians are very stingy. Oh, Chinese, they don't want to spend." You'll be surprised to know so many Westerners, they are massive freeloaders. You don't have to believe me. Go to Facebook groups. Just check Thailand expats or whatever. And you'll be very surprised to see some of the buy and sell groups. There are expatriates, Westerners from Germany, from France, from USA. They're selling slippers. Slippers that you buy it for, I think, less than $1 a slipper. They're still selling the slippers secondhand. I've seen Westerners selling even a broom, broom jadu, which you broom, a secondhand broom. And I used to think that they're just taking the piss out of people, or they're just trying to make it as a joke. No, they're actually selling a secondhand broom. They're actually selling, plates and cups for 5 baht, 10 baht, which is not in few cents. And they show that they are sleeping, that they are having a suntan or in a swimming pool. They like to show that they're very rich, but they live hand to mouth. And in fact, there are many Westerners who come to third world countries to beg, please. They'll hold a signboard saying, "Fund, I want to travel the world, please fund my dream." That is why the Eastern countries now, they have put a clamp down on tourists, where if you don't show funds in your bank account, you don't show your capacity to stay, to spend money in the country, don't come here. So, like I said, don't believe a word I say. Just Google search and you'll find out what I say is true. Oh, this is another bullshit news. Salaries to increase by 2020. This company, Copper Fitch, has stated that there's going to be a 2 to 5% increase in your salaries in 2020. The key areas are manufacturing, technology, telecommunications, consulting, strategy, and people who speak Arabic and English. Sorry. Personally speaking, from where do you come up with these assumptions? It's not that salaries have increased. They're predicting it will increase. Like I tell people, if you have received a salary increment, then it's a reality. If it doesn't happen to you, most probably it's not happening in the market. Because simple logic, if everyone's salary is increasing, they will spend more. If they spend more, more revenue comes in. More revenue comes in, business grows. Business grows means you'll also get a salary bonus, or you'll get an increment or you'll get more cash in your hands. But if A doesn't take place, B, C, D will not happen. So in the same way, I just feel that these positive feeling reports are just to gain eyeballs. But end of the day, just read the comments when they are, plastered or posted somewhere. You'll come to know that people are saying this is all bullshit. Okay. Anyway, you let me know in the comment section whether your salary has increased, there's been an increment, or whether this is bullshit. Okay. Moving on to the next one. All right, you have this news that Dubai RTA, that is the Road Transport Authority, is going to build more shelters, okay? And they've invited private companies, or they invited international companies or whomsoever, come and build these shelters, more than 1,500. This is, in preparation of Expo 2020. But if you go back through the old archives of Gulf News, Khaleej Times, or even one of the videos, you'll know that the RTA, Dubai Road Transport Authority, had given this contract to a particular company. I can't get the name right now. If you can help me out in the comments. They had built these bus shelters. They had put the air conditioning there. They had made it like electronic, and they had billboards there. But the RTA did not pay money. They did not give money to this company. And because of the delay in payments and because of the delay in salary, this company shut down. The owner ran away from UAE because, he had to pay other people for their services or for using their raw materials. He was supposed to pay, but the government didn't pay him because of whatever reason. So now once again, they are asking, oh, why don't you bring your money, invest, and, we will give you the contract. I doubt anyone's going to fall for this. The reason being is once bitten, twice shy. Here's the thing. You take money from people, you take their service, you take their hard work, you take everything, and then you don't pay them because you're the government and nobody can take you to court. Nobody's going to fall for it ever again. I don't see people burning their fingers this time. Companies will be very cautious, and even if they do hand over contracts, I'm very sure they will just put their hand into one or two, pay me the money, that's it. Small loss, small profit, small happiness. Because I really wish I could get the name of the company, because I did speak about this on a previous video from an employee who was working for that company that supplied the previous, bus shelters. Anyway, let me know what you think. And if you do know the name, share it in the comment section below. Moving on to, still sticking on with UAE-based news, you have Gulf News that reported that a new cost airline, that is, a cheap budget airline, is going to start. And I found this rather, surprising, disturbing, because first, let's see how many airlines, budget airlines, are there in the Middle East. You have Air Arabia, which is the dominant one, Fly Dubai, which is run by Emirates Airlines. Then you have also Etihad Arabia, which is run by Abu Dhabi. Then you have Jazeera Airways, that gives, very affordable prices. Sama, Nas Air, Bahrain Air, Air Asia, Onur Air, Etihad, I said that. Okay, RAK Airways, I don't know if RAK Airways is still operational. Air Arabia Jordan, and you have Felix Airways, which is part of Yemen. I don't know if they are operating. Okay, so you have close to, let's say, 12 brands that are already operating. Now you have the new brand from Abu Dhabi, and guess what they've decided to name it? They've named it Viz Airlines. Now, why do I find this funny? Because it sounds like jizz. And if you do not know what is jizz, just Google search jizz. So, I don't know who is doing the branding or who is doing the creative thinking, but so this company's name is Viz, sounds like jizz. Anyway, I hope they're doing, as it is, the name sounds pretty stupid, okay? But they're creating it anyway. It's, it's a brainchild of Abu Dhabi Development Holding Company and Viz Air Holding. So Okay, they are going to focus on parts of India, Middle East, Europe, Africa. Okay, my thought process is there are enough and more airlines. Don't overdo it. Fly Dubai is operating under a loss. Etihad is operating under a loss. Emirates profits are dwindling. It's going down. Air Arabia is okay, fine. They are still smart because they operate on low cost and it's a budget airlines. You still want to create another one. You already created Abu Dhabi, Air Arabia and Etihad Airways. And now you're planning to create another one. I just look at this as another rack airways, which will be there and then eventually it'll shut down, because operating an airlines, you just don't have to go very further. Just look at what happened to Kingfisher Airlines. And I just see this as a great new venture. It'll start. If you want to join this airline, get a job, join, because in my gut feeling, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to shut down. This is my prediction. You can give me your thoughts. Well, look at the next news. Air Arabia, Middle East airlines to lose millions. The forecast is $1 billion worth of losses in 2020. Why? Because every passenger that leaves from the Middle East gives a loss of $4.48, okay, every person, because they are not able to fill the aircraft. When an aircraft is full, that's where the airline makes a profit. But if, they're not making any money, you fly on a loss. So they are making $4.48 loss per passenger that departs from the Middle East. So, when you have all this news that losses are happening, what do? In fact, I have this person, I've censored his name. He is from the UAE, very well connected, has a lot of key contacts in many important places. This is the information he gave me. He wrote to me, on the messenger. He said, "Good evening. I have some important information regarding Abu Dhabi International Airport. This project started in 2015, 2016. It's completed as per design. Now, Etihad are not willing to take over this terminal. All gates inside the terminal are empty. All baggage handling counters are not in operation, resulting in malfunction of electronic systems due to internal memory and circuit power losses for certain periods. They do not have the resources or manpower to handle the reason behind Etihad Airways has stopped ordering wide-body aircrafts as per plan. It's due to the losses in aircraft's operation and handling charges. Some airports handling companies came to several meetings, but the contract terms and operation cost will be in loss. To operate a terminal by private parties, they need to have 24/7 arrival-departure flights, luggage handling and cleaning cycle after arrival in order for departure. Don't mind English. Without any aircraft arrival in the new terminal, Abu Dhabi Airport Services will only pay when all the gates are in operation. If you need, you can make a video on this." So what he says is Abu Dhabi Airport new terminal expansion for Etihad Airways has failed and there are no new terminal gates. So like I told you, the information that I get is not just from newspapers, is from people who are actually based there, who are working there, who have the contacts and connections and who are involved in the project. So this is what he says. Now, this is not to bad mouth the country, but rather it's to give you the realistic picture. Etihad is bleeding. It's hemorrhaging in billions, okay? And this is the problem. If you involve in any of these projects, you get the money only when they decide that you should be paid. Just imagine, you took all the resources, you invested into this project, and you don't get paid in the end. What can you do? In slightly positive news, Abu Dhabi Airport is expanding and they handed over the retail space to Lulu. It's kind of funny because now they are not handing these spaces to global brands, like international brands like, whichever, Givenchy or Gucci or whatever. But they're giving it to local brands. That also Lulu. Why they're giving it to Lulu? Why? Because he has the money. He's a billionaire. Why he would take part? Because it's a matter of respect. He's the first guy to get this gold lifetime citizenship, not citizenship, residency. So obviously he would want to keep the rulers happy. Rulers would want little bit of his money. So it's a win-win situation for him anyway. All right, the next news is a rather big one. And this one is with regards to New Medical Center. Okay, New Medical Center, which is the brainchild of B.R. Shetty, who is another billionaire expat in Dubai. Okay, so now the headlines is taken from a New York Times, which is it was released on Reuters. The title says UAE's NMC, New Medical Center, health tanks. Okay, means its value, its health gets affected as Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters is the name of a company. Takes a short position. So I'll read it out so that it makes sense to you. This US short selling firm Muddy Waters, it's a company that bets against companies. Means they put their money and say that we know that this company is going to fail, and when the company fails, they actually make money out of it. Okay, it's to make you understand how it is. Normally, when you, let's say there is a company like Apple, it's giving its shares. Many people, what they do, they scoop up the shares, they buy the shares. Let's say I bought it for $10 a piece. When the price goes up, value goes up to, let's say 100, I sell it, I make a profit. So I bought it when the prices were low, and I sell it when the prices go high. These companies, short selling companies, what they do is they put their money as a bet against the company, stating that the prices are already high and the prices will crash. So if the prices crash, you pay me money. But if the prices go up, I pay you more money. So this is how it works. In fact, I would recommend you watch the movie The Long Short. Long Shot or Long Short? Yeah, watch that movie. It's a movie I watched at least 5 times, back to back to back. It was thought-provoking. You must watch that movie. Great actors in that movie. I think it's Christian Bale. Can't get their names yet. There are quite a number of great actors in that movie. Christian Bale, Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Brad Pitt. Absolutely amazing star cast. It's a movie you must watch. I watched it like back to back 5 times. Great movie. Okay. So, coming to the article. So US short selling firm Muddy Waters said on Tuesday it has acquired a short position in NMC Health PLC, okay, citing serious doubts about the hospital's operators' financial statements, sending the shares going down more than 20%. Short seller Carson Block's firm questioned the value of NMC's assets, the cash balance, as well as its reported profit and debts. In a research note, Muddy Waters cited that NMC has given inflated assets, price purchases, and capital expenditure, calling them the hallmark of a significant fraud. Just imagine that NMC is being slapped on by saying that they are showing hallmarks of a significant fraud, and said some of the investments showed numerous red flags. Now, as for this article, they further said that NMC's reported cash balances show 2 red flags that indicate that they could be materially overstated. So they said that NMC's profit margins are too good to be true, and they are also talking about the other 2 publicly traded companies, Mediclinic International PLC and Aster DM Healthcare Limited. Okay. Further on, they said, we believe that New Medical Center, NMC, has manipulated its balance sheet and understated its debt. NMC, which operates in 17 countries, reported a net debt and payables of $1.89 billion at the end of 2018. 10% of the company's outstanding shares were in short position as of December 13th. Muddy Waters has, this company, they have a reputation of conducting hardcore research and taking on short positions. Means they know that this company is going to collapse or fail, or its prices are going to come down. So, not surprisingly, UAE's NMC Health, none of their representatives were available for comment. So, I would just say that, when you go into the international markets, yes, you can do a lot of things in UAE and get away with it. But once you go globally, you are exposing yourself to the truth, and you can't get away with bullshit. Okay, sticking on with a little bit of UAE-based business news, you have Emirates Palace, which was considered like Burj Al Arab, like a 7-star residence where you have the Fast and Furious franchise being shot. This Emirates Palace will cease to be a Kempinski hotel from January 1st, 2020. It'll become a Mandarin hotel or Oriental hotel. It'll become part of their group. This place is really big. I've not been there, even though I stayed in UAE so many years. Never been there. But it's massive. 400 guest rooms, 12 restaurants, 40 meeting rooms, concert grade auditorium, a ballroom that can accommodate 2,500 guests. I mean, this place is like, oh, wow, if you actually look at it in the movies or if you have gone there. So now it's being purchased over by the Mandarin Hotel Group. I did a little bit of research. They are a hotel investment and management group with luxury resorts in Asia, Europe, and Americas. Well, I would just tell you that this is nothing but the hallmarks to show you that people who have invested in UAE, they just want to take their money and get out and invest somewhere else. So, well, the old goes, the new comes. That's how it goes. Speaking about going losses, Capital Club, I've been there. Very exclusive club. I've met a couple of my CEO clients over there. Okay, it's a very exclusive club. It's members only club where you have to pay $5,000, $5,500 just to be a member. And the reason why people choose to be members there is they can meet decision makers. Okay, so this member, it's $5,500 through invite only. You can't just join if you have the money. They have access to meeting rooms, gym, fine dining, sports bar, and it's in DIFC area. So it's a very posh kind of premise, very exclusive club. They are undergoing massive losses because before they had 1,500 members. It's cut down to one third. They have lost the members. Now it's only 1,000, and they are undergoing losses. So they have raised money of 30 million dirhams. And they want to restructure the management, restructure their debt, and pay off some of the loans. So it goes to show you that nowadays these exclusive clubs, they'll not survive. That's why it's very important. Keep your costs down. Don't project, don't be overly optimistic about the future. Be cautious each and every day. Speaking about being cautious and being overly optimistic, you have DMAC chairman, Mr. Hussein Sajwani. He seems to be coming in the newspapers a little bit too much, which is not a very good sign because it doesn't work out very well for you if you jump too high or get on the global platform. Because this is my experience. The more you tend to show off yourself, the more enemies you make. That's my experience. So, DMAC CEO, he is planning to challenge Gucci, the 63-year-old developer who purchased Italian fashion brand Roberto Cavalli. Now he's saying, I'm going to challenge Gucci. I know it sounds great, but if you do a little bit of research, you'll know that he purchased Roberto Cavalli because Roberto Cavalli was bankrupt. It filed for bankruptcy. It was not doing well. They wanted to shut down. So he scooped them up at a good deal. And now, without knowing anything about the fashion industry, he's a real estate developer. Okay? Let's understand this much. He's going into a totally new field. And now he's making this bold pronouncement. Oh, I'm going to challenge Gucci. I'm going to challenge Tiffany. I'm going to challenge LVMH. I'm going to challenge all these brands. And where does he get his confidence from? By purchasing a bankrupt brand. I'll just tell you, give it a few months, a few years, nothing is going to happen. Nothing. Okay. Next one, DMAC CEO. Why do I say nothing? Because at the next one, see the funny bit. I find this so ironic. He was invited to speak at a conference, SALT conference in Abu Dhabi. It's called SALT. He says, he's telling the other developers, hey, stop being greedy. You have to stop being greedy. All of you stop your construction. You should not be greedy. It's not we. He's saying you should not be greedy. And the funny thing is, he is bringing out new properties. He's constructing new, villas and apartments and buildings. That is okay. But you guys don't do it. We can do it, you can't do it. We can charge high, you cannot charge high. Why do you think Abrar and him had a tussle? Because Abrar says, Abrar, I give a fuck to you, fuck off. His attitude was that because Abrar is the pet of Sheikh Mohammed. Okay, he has his blessings, he is part of Imar. Damak is private, Imar is government. So, the fact is, Damak Properties has reported a slump of 88% of their profit. Just imagine, it's almost like 90% profit is gone, only 10% you're making. So he's getting fucked left, right, and center. His brand is dying. Nobody wants to buy his overpriced apartments. And he is giving a lecture of stop being greedy, stop being greedy. It's like me giving you lessons on being a virgin. Don't have tattoos. Don't have sex. Be spiritual. You can see the hypocrisy. Okay, anyway. Individual news with regards to UAE, we'll quickly move on. These are bits of news to give you the pulse of what is happening with individuals. Women were jailed for begging in Dubai outside a mosque. So a lot of beggars, and I'll tell you, these beggars are really fucking rich. I don't know why people still don't understand these beggars. They are very rich. They're very well-to-do. They just beg because it's easy money. So they got arrested. Good. You found a baby abandoned in a park. This now seems to be a very common phenomenon where women give birth to children. They do not seek medical attention or the thing. They just leave the baby. It's very sad. And I think the sad fact is the reason they cannot, tell anyone they are pregnant is because UAE follows Islamic law that if you have a child outside wedlock, you will be deported. And so and you can't opt for abortion. And so you end up with the baby being born. Once it's born, they just dump it. So for people who say, oh, children should be born into this world, we should encourage that. Well, who's going to take care of the child? So sad, but this is what is happening. And another Indian teen commits suicide in Al Quwain. This is really getting out of hand. Nowadays, it's so many of these youngsters are committing suicide. This is, I think, the third or fourth news this year. It's too much. Now it's becoming like a crazy thing. And it's not just limited to teenager. This expat kills himself because he hung himself. 37-year-old Nepali, he was found hanging from the ceiling. It's because they come to Dubai with hopes and dreams, and when they get cheated or they're not making money or salaries are not being paid on time or they have so much of stress, they can't take life anymore. And that's why he killed himself. And then you have this other news where this Nigerian 29-year-old young man, he threatened to burn himself, kill himself, and burn the company because this company in Al Quwain refused to pay his end of service benefits. See, here's the funny thing. The company can not pay you the salary. The company can cheat you. They are okay. But the employee, what will the poor guy do? He is so angry. He is so upset. He's so hurt that he's ready to harm himself, kill himself and the company. Why don't you guys just pay the salary, man? Why are you fucking around with poor people's money? It's a fucking shame, man. Then hocus pocus, you have... See, when people come out with any service and I see them, it's sounding too good to be true, I know it's bullshit. Like, for example, this clinic, this doctor claims, I'll identify your future illness, not present illness, future illness in the future. When in the future? No date, but in the future, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, you will get sick. So I can predict that. But what they don't mention in this news is you have to pay money. It's not for free. That's number one. Second one is he has no track record of success rates. Nobody knows. Third one, he's a homeopathy doctor. Homeopathy. I'll tell you, I've done this. Homeopathy, they give these white pills, small. They say just take one. I want you to Google search. I'll see if I can find out. It's this guy is he debunks all these myths. His name is Randy or whatever. You know, this one pill, you're supposed to take only one. He takes a whole bottle, gobbles up the whole thing, and says, they say homeopathy, these tablets are dangerous if you take more than one. He takes a whole bottle, maybe 300 or 400 pills. Nothing happens to him. So homeopathy is another pseudoscience bullshit. So if you want to waste your money, go ahead. I would say this is just nothing but cheap publicity. They just want this clinic will shut down. Take my word on it, because this is bullshit, man. In fact, this next one is not bullshit. I was sent this email with this link. You remember I put up this videos of Indian high school and I was exposing the stuff that they were doing, Indian high school, okay, the guys at the top. So finally, Indian high school replaces CEO Kumar for Vasu. Okay, CEO Kumar for Vasu, prominent member of, and you know, the Ashok Kumar, who's the CEO, he got replaced with Puneet K. Vasu. He was relieved of his duties and they didn't give any reason for it. I wonder why didn't they give any reason for it? Was it because of my video that I put up and the expose and all the pressure that was built up? You just don't know. Let me know. Okay, this one was an expat wrote to me. What he said is, and I'll read it out. Obviously, I've censored his saying details. He's saying, "Hi, Loy." I don't know why they type HAI, hi. Okay, hi, Loy. Good day. I am, censored his name, now settled in India 1.5 years back. I was in UAE. I lost my job due to cost cutting and came back to my home country. Now, I am like to share small information about Sealand Group of restaurants with its head office located in Sharjah. I know Sealand Group because it was near my house. Okay. And they're famous for seafood restaurant. They are famous because they used to give prawns, lobsters, crabs, you know, in the buffet, which was unheard of. Okay. I don't know whether you knew it. Last week, there was a mass termination of Indian staff, including kitchen staff and corporate office staff. I was working there 2 years ago, and I have a contact there that they're based that I came to know of things. Okay, so don't mind the English. Okay, the staff didn't receive 5 months salary, and they, even without notice, the kafil I think is a PRO or the manager, directly terminated all the staff and even the HR manager and replaced it with Lebanese, not confirmed. And anyhow, see, this is one of the problems that they do is Indian staff, normally Indians or Pakistani or Asians, they're very hardworking. And then they whenever they have replaced Asian staff with Arabs, I don't have anything against Arabs, but Syrian or Lebanese and all that, they end up bringing their own people. They end up having this disdain or disgust towards Asians because obviously a difference in culture. And when they do that, the company goes downhill from there. It happened even with Petrofac. When the main guy, I think was Lebanese, he removed all the Indians. Until then, Petrofac was really doing well. The day he came over and he started terminating all the Indians, bringing in Syrian, Lebanese and all that, now Petrofac is in decline. You don't have to buy or believe a word I say. Just ask the people who are there. They will tell you for a fact, okay? Anyhow, all the terminated staff was gathered and raised a complaint to the labor office, but purposely, Kafil is not attending their calls. One more thing, he's a big boon in Sharjah. He's a criminal lawyer. What is a big boon? Okay, now the terminated staff are crying for job and money. That's all, Loy. Okay, so this was what he shared with me, okay? And last and not the least, I just thought I would give you my thoughts. You know, this UAE has come out with UAE came out with Bottom, okay, which is the paid app. And everyone was like, shit, Loy, they charge us a hell lot of money. Now they have come out with Tour Talk, okay. Now this is for free. And Gulf News even spoke about it saying, wow, it's for free. And everyone's like, hey, Gulf News, why are you bringing this online? You know, just keep it hush hush. This is what you're not thinking about. Skype is for free. WhatsApp is for free. Okay. The question which I want you to ask yourself is, why is it that UAE is allowing Talk for free, but not Skype, not WhatsApp? Why? Because Skype and WhatsApp is established. They have protocols in mind. They don't need to expand anymore. They're already famous. Okay, they're already big. UAE wants to make sure that they can scan through each and every image, each and every conversation. They want to get all the details. So when they approached Skype for it, Skype said no. When they approached WhatsApp for it, sorry, we're not going to give you the details. So UAE has Expo 2020 coming. Nobody wants to use bottom. And they know for a fact everybody's using VPN. Now, UAE cannot go to each and every expatriate and say, you're using VPN, you're arrested. They can't do that. Are you going to arrest the whole population? Then nobody's going to come to Dubai. Nobody is going to visit Dubai. And Dubai doesn't want to scare people away. Dubai needs people. It's a country built by expatriates. The expatriate population, expats, are like 80 to 90%. The locals, Emiratis, are hardly less than 8% or 10%. So, now what do? So, you have to keep the expats happy. You can't do anything. They're using VPN. You can't convince Skype and WhatsApp. So, what do? Oh, we came out with bottom. Bottom's a fucking failure. We don't want to be bit slapped on the face. Oh shit, we failed and that's why we allowed Skype. And if they allow Skype and WhatsApp, finished. They can't do anything about it. So what do? They make up this tie-up with this new company, Totok, and tells Totok, listen, we will give you a chance to expand. We'll give you great user base. But you need to agree to our terms and conditions. So maybe our terms and conditions, we would like to just check what people are sending, that user data. So, just for security, if you can arrange, we will make you official, unofficially. So Totok says, okay, I'll get a bigger market share. Fine. What you do with the data is up to you, but don't harm anyone, just bullshit stuff that they say. Let's do it for the good of mankind. UAE says, fine. Shake hands. Remember, Expo 2020 is coming. They need to have surveillance. That's why they're teaming up with Israel. That's why they're using their technology. Just Google search. Don't have to believe a word I say. Reuters, Expose, Blackwaters. No, this Israel, UAE, the technology. Just Google search. Don't believe a word I say. And now, when they're making Totok for free, everyone's like, wow, I don't need to buy VPN. I can use this. What is my advice to you? Continue using Skype. Continue using WhatsApp. Continue using VPN. Okay. Don't use a free VPN. Use a paid VPN. Okay. Which is $100 a year. Use that. Do your confidential stuff through this. Normal day-to-day, just chuma stuff. Do it through Totok. In fact, I would even tell you, have 2 or 3 SIM cards. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. Have important data which is kept iCloud or through a hard disk that is not connected online. And do your day-to-day stuff. That way, it's not easy to get all the information. So these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts with regards to Totok. Okay. Now, last but not the least, I'll just give you a few love messages. Very few. This one from Iftihan Ishak, Dubai property consultant. He says, fuck you. Thank you. Next one was, this one I got from Vishal Blade. Okay. Law is behaving like a plumber who thinks is also a doctor. Stick to your topic and leave geopolitics to adults. I think this was in response to the India. I said India had a black day, So that video I put up. So according to people, I shouldn't have an opinion. I should only agree with them. If I agree with them, I'm a good guy. If I don't agree with them, I'm a bad guy. And then this guy, before I used to tolerate his comments, even though he never saw eye to eye with most of the stuff that I do. But, just putting not negativity. I mean, you're just bad mouthing or giving personal attacks. At some point, you're like, I was thinking, like, why the fuck do I even allow you to comment? So this guy, Anatoly Kiprichev, he says, Law, you couldn't get and hold even a basic job in Dubai as a toilet cleaner. So why are you advising others on how to get a job? So I didn't see any more value of this guy commenting on my channel because all he does is just, talk shit about other people and insult and give personal comment without knowing the facts. Okay? He doesn't know anything about me and he was busy commenting. So I said, fuck it. Then this genius, this one, first he spoke to me everything nice, which I totally understand. But then, see, he didn't say anything bad. But then, I always wonder, why do you put this comment? Please read the Quran just once. This is what he put. So my response to him was, okay, please read the Bible, Torah, the Bhagavad Gita once. I asked him, did you read it? He said, no. Then don't ask me to read your book. If you can read the Bible, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, all other religious books, then you're a balanced individual. Don't start constantly preaching your religion to me. So I know that he meant me well. So I also told him, you want me to read the Quran? You read the Bhagavad Gita. Then we are fair. You don't want to do that? No, I'll not do that. And then this genius, this is the last one. He says, good morning, Lord. Okay. Can you help me get my paperworks? I was like, what the fuck is paperworks? Degrees, etc. So I was like, I knew what he was talking about. So I said, no, what are you talking about? He's saying, I saw your online video. There's a guy who can get my diploma and all. So I told him straight, you want a fake degree? Yeah, something to that effect. I said, there's no something to that effect. You either want a fake degree or you don't. So what do you want? He said, yeah, I want a fake one. So I told him, I don't provide such fucking services. I know the company. I know the company's name. Okay. I don't know whether you want me to explicitly say it. That company is still there in UAE. It's still being run by a Malayali guy, South Indian guy from, Kannur, from Kannur. He's still there in UAE. He still gives fake degrees. He still provides, this migration services to Canada and all these places. He still has his website. He's explicitly doing it in UAE. People know who have followed me on Facebook. They know. They've seen my photographs with the owner of the company, the guy who does all that fake shit. So, but I'm not going to sit and promote him. No fucking way. Because it's wrong. Because if you get caught, you're fucked. And this guy, like a fucking idiot, is saying, I'll pay you money. Can you get me the right contact to get fake degree? I'm sorry, I don't do that shit. I just don't do that shit. Because, okay, I understand you want a degree for a promotion and all that. But if you're caught, you are fucked. You're fucked by the government. If you're going to show just to get a promotion, I can understand that. But you're talking of a legal document, man. So just be careful. All right. So anyway, this is more or less the headlines of everything that is happening in the UAE and the Middle East. Let me know your thoughts. And guys, like I always say, please do support my channel. Watch the ads. If you're not, just watch the ads. Just watch the ads so I can get a little bit of money. And yes, whatever information that you have that you want to share it with me. It'll be kept confidential. Email or WhatsApp. You can get in touch with me. And most important, last but not the least, start preparing for 2020. Start hunting for a job. Give yourself a 6 months buffer. Prepare for it. And there are plenty of opportunities and new jobs going to come. And I feel that if you're prepared, you will get it. So this is me signing off for now. Let me know your thoughts always. As usual, guys, take care.